Hello everyone. In this video, I will explain you the V model in software engineering. This is very important question and asked in almost all the question papers. First 6 to 8 marks. Before starting this, subscribe to my channel for more videos and I'll be uploading the important questions solved one. That's why subscribe to my channel. You will get the notifications. It is the V model. It is also called as verification and validation model. Why? Because the left side of the V represents the verification and the right side of the V represents the validation. That's why it is also called as verification and validation model. And it is a software development life cycle. It tests the every stage of the development. It will test the each stage of the development. The testing will happen in the each stage. Acceptance in the user requirement, acceptance testing will happen. In software specification, system testing will happen. Like that, in each phase the testing will happen. And the shape is like letter V. That's why the shape is like letter V. I told you. And it represents the relationship between the each development phase and corresponding testing phase. It represents the relationship between the each development phase and the corresponding testing phase. This is the relationship. And the left side we focus on the requirement and design. Here the left side we represent the requirement and the design. It is also called as planning phase. And the right side we focus on the testing and validation. Right side we focus on the testing and validation. The bottom of the V focus on the implementation or coding. Here the implementation and coding will take place at the bottom of the V. This is the V model diagram. Here we have user requirement, software specification phase, high level designing phase, low level designing phase, and coding or implementation phase. And the unit testing, which is corresponding to the low level design, and integration testing, which is corresponding to the high level design, and the system testing corresponding to the software specification, acceptance testing corresponding to the user requirements. This is the V model diagram. You have to draw this in exam. Let us see the explanation. The left side V, that is verification, also called as development phases. We have 5 stages, that is requirement analysis. Understand what are all the requirements from the customer. Take the requirements from the customer in the requirement analysis. And the corresponding test activity is acceptance testing. Means it is corresponding to the acceptance testing here. And ensures the final product meets the user requirement or not. It ensures the final product meet the user requirements or not. And the second one is software specification. It will define the requirements clearly and capture the both functional and non-functional requirements before going to designing or coding. It will clear all the requirements. It will make a clear picture and it will capture the functional and non-functional requirements before starting the designing and coding. The corresponding to the system design. Here the software specification corresponding to the system design. And the third one is high level design. High level design means the design model, it will design the module interactions and data flow interactions. It will design the module interactions and the data flow and interfaces. It is corresponding to the integration testing. It is corresponding to the integration testing. And the fourth one is low level design. It is detailed design of each module, because this is the last step of designing. That's why it will do detailed design of each module, and it is corresponding to the unit testing. Low level design is corresponding to the unit testing. And the fifth one is coding. The developers write the code based on the low level design. Based on the low level design, it will take, and the developers will write the code for that. And this is the transition point from the planning to the execution. This side is, it is planning, I told you. This is the transition of planning to coding. This phase is the transition from planning to coding. And no testing occurs yet. In this phase, there is no testing occurs. And right side validation, we call the right side as validation. The testing phase also, we can call it as testing phase also. And we have unit testing, first one. Test each modules individually. In the unit testing, it will test the each module individually and matches the module design phase, and it matches to the module design phase. And integration testing, the test interaction between the modules. It will test the interaction between the modules, and it matches to the HLD, that is high level design. And the third one is system testing. It will test the complete system. The complete system testing will happen in the system testing, and it matches the software specification phase. The system designing matches to the software specification phase. And the fourth one is acceptance testing. It tests the software in the real environment by the customer. It is the final phase, we can say. And this is tested by the end user, that is customer, in real environment, in real world. And it matches the requirement analysis phase. It is matched to the requirement specification or user requirement phase. This is all about the explanation about the V model. Let us see the advantages and disadvantages of this V model, and where do we use this V model. Let us see that. Here in this V model, we have advantages and disadvantages. Both we have. The advantages are simple and easy to understand, because you can see the diagram. Step by step you can easily understand. It is very simple. That's why the advantage is simple and easy to understand. Testing starts early. It will reduce the defects. If the test starts early, easily we can reduce the defects. And each phase has clear deliverables. Means we can see the each phases separately, and we can see the clear deliverables in the each phase. And better requirement traceability. What are all the requirements we need? We can trace it easily. That's why better requirement traceability. And works well for small to medium sized project. It is good for only small to medium projects only, not for the large projects with the well defined requirements. If the requirements are well defined and clear, then we can easily use the V model. And we have some disadvantages also in V model. Those are not flexible. Why? Because difficult to update the changes in requirements. If the customer wants to add any requirement or remove any requirement, that is very difficult. That's why it is not flexible. And high risk and costs if requirements are unclear. If the requirements are unclear, they don't know what are the perfect requirements, then it costs more. And high risk, we can say. We have high risk if the requirement is unclear. And not suitable for large or complex or long-term project. I told you it works well for small and medium-sized projects only. It is not suitable for the large or complex projects and long-term projects as well. If any mistakes in the early phase can be expensive to fix it later. If we get any mistakes or bugs at the early phases, it costs more to fix it later. These are all the disadvantages of V model. Let us see when to use the V model. Exactly where do we use this V model? Requirements are clearly defined and fixed. When we have the clear requirements and fixed, the clearly defined and fixed requirements we have, then we use the V model. And small or medium projects with well understood technology. We use this V model for small or medium projects only, not for the large projects. With well understood technology, we have to use the only well understood technologies or known technologies only. And the third one is projects where early test planning is beneficial. The project should be like tested in the early phases, that is beneficial. In these cases we use the V model. This is complete explanation about the V model. This is very important question in software engineering. You will get for sure. If you write this much, this is very enough and you can get full marks for this question. If you found this helpful, then subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and share this info with your friends. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.